Here are my 2024 NBA playoff predictions as of April 18th, 2024. Let's go. So as for the 1 versus 8 game in the Western Conference, here we go. This is after the 7 seeds have been decided, but not the 8 seeds yet. So here, it will be New Orleans or Sacramento. No Zion Williamson for the New Orleans Pelicans. My pick in that game is the Sacramento Kings, but nonetheless, I am going to take the young OKC Thunder. Obviously, the 1 seed in the West is here in 5 games. SGA is my MVP this season, and I don't think New Orleans or Sacramento is enough to take down the number 1 seed in the West, Thunder. They're young, they're inexperienced in the playoffs, but I think they're just the better team here. So yeah, OKC in 5, they move on to the Western Conference semifinals. And then we have Kawhi Leonard versus Luka Doncic in the 4-5 game in the West. Clippers Mavericks. This is a very, very good playoff series. The first game is on Sunday at 3:30 on ABC. And these two have gone at it in the playoffs in the past, in the bubble. I think they went at it in the Western Conference semifinals maybe once in the past few seasons, but these two have always played in the high-stakes playoff series. But right now, I just think that I trust playoff Kawhi a little bit more than the Dallas Mavericks, but I think Luka is on an absolute mission right now. This will be a very good series, but I will be taking the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games to go play the OKC Thunder. And that's going to be a banger of a series, but give me Luka Doncic. And then we have another very good series, the Wolves versus the Suns. Anthony Edwards on an absolute tear versus the so-called powerhouse Suns, KD, Booker, and Beal. As Anthony Edwards would say, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jay McDaniels. This will be a very good series. I also see this one going deep, but I trust the Suns. I trust Kevin Durant. I trust Devin Booker in the playoffs a little bit more than the young, inexperienced Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert's been here before, but no one else has really been to high-stakes games like this. I will be taking the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. I know they've been kind of disappointing this year based on their expectations, but I think that they get out of this series alive, and I think they're going to beat Minnesota. And then we have the Western Conference Finals rematch, the Nikola Jokic-led, Lakers. Nikola Jokic-led Nuggets versus LeBron James-led Lakers. I'm a LeBron truther. He's my GOAT, but I will take the Nuggets in 5. I don't think they sweep them this time, but I think Denver's just a better team. I think Denver's probably the front runner in the Western Conference, and I think they not really cruise, but a gentleman sweep against the Lakers to get them to face off against Phoenix in the conference semifinals. And then we have the 1 versus 8 game in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics, the best team in the NBA this season by far, against either the Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler MCL sprain out for a few weeks minimum, or the Chicago Bulls. I'm picking the Chicago Bulls to win that game based on because Jimmy Butler is out. But if Jimmy Butler was playing and if Jimmy Butler was healthy, I think Miami would actually give Boston a run for their money and send the series to at least 6 or 7 games because Miami, they know Boston, they know each other in the playoffs, and they're 2 very good perennial Eastern Conference teams. But either way, no Jimmy Butler, Heat, Chicago Bulls. I'm taking the first sweep of the playoffs. Give me the Boston Celtics in 4 to go to the next round. Then we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. This is probably the series I'm least interested in, but I think Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic have done some good things this year. Congratulations on an overachieving season. I think it was a really good year for them. Paolo Banchero is an all-star, but I think that Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, a little bit better, and I will be taking Cleveland in 6 games. Over Orlando, I just think they're a little bit better. Congratulations on a great season, though, for the Magic. And then we have, some would say, a very, very intriguing series. The Milwaukee Bucks, led by Doc Rivers, versus Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. So, Doc Rivers is a playoff choker. Probably no Giannis Antetokounmpo for the first few games, so I could see Indiana stealing a few. But when Giannis does come back, I think Lillard and Giannis are just a little bit too much for the young Indiana Pacers. I like Halliburton, I really do. I like Siakam, I do. But I think Milwaukee's just the better basketball team, and I don't think that they can lose games they shouldn't be losing for long. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games and Giannis Antetokounmpo to go to the next round. Next, we have arguably my favorite series of the first round Jalen Brunson and the Knicks versus Joel Embiid and the 76ers. There is a ton of people on Philadelphia to upset Jalen Brunson and the young Knicks team in this first round, but not me. I think this will be an elite series. This will go 7 games. I think it'll go down to the wire in the 7th game. This will be the best series of the first round, in my opinion. But I think Jalen Brunson has just been that guy this season. He's been the guy that the Knicks need. Give me the New York Knicks in 7 games to go play Milwaukee and beat Philadelphia. And that will set up a Knicks versus Bucks series, which will be an absolute banger. But Joel Embiid goes home again. And that will wrap up the first round. And then we go to the Western Conference semifinals, where a young number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder take on Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. This will be an amazing series. SGA and Luka, 2 of the youngest bright talents in the Basketball Association. But I'm going to take the unpopular pick here and go with the Dallas Mavericks in a banger of a series, 7 games. It goes the length. But OKC was a great season to go all the way and get that 1 seed. But I think Luka takes them down, and the Mavericks are going to the conference finals. Then we have KD and Booker versus Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. And the Suns, they've been underachieving this year. They're the 6th seed. They just squeaked back past the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6 games. But I just can't bet against the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. I don't think this will be a 7-game series, but I also don't think it will be a gentleman's sweep 5-game series. I think this one will go 6. And I think Denver, the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, gets it done. And that sets up Jokic versus Luka Western Conference Finals, an absolute heater. On to the East. And then we have the Eastern Conference semifinals. Boston's been so much better than every team in the National Basketball Association this year. So I'm not going to pick against the Celtics, but it'll be a gentleman's sweep. I think Boston on an absolute tear. I think Cleveland will get a game probably. Donovan Mitchell will have that game where he just absolutely goes berserk and beats Boston. But other than that, I just can't see Cleveland getting out of this series. Boston punched their ticket to the conference finals. What a series we have here. Giannis should be fully healthy going into this series as they beat the Pacers in the first round versus Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. I think this will be a heater. Doc Rivers, this is where he usually chokes and loses playoff games, but I will be taking Giannis and Lillard to go the distance and play the Celtics in the conference finals. That will be such a good series. I think that the Knicks playing 2 straight 7-game series is a disadvantage for them, and I think it will be tough for them to recover. And I think Milwaukee plays Boston. We have the Western Conference Finals, Luka and Jokic. Luka's been on a tear this playoffs up to this point versus the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. And I'm sorry, Luka, it was an elite run. I think that Dallas could win this series, but Jokic is so dominant. I just cannot see him going down here. And I think that Denver's the better team, and I think I'm going to pick them to come out of the West 2 years in a row and beat Dallas as they punch their ticket to the NBA Finals. Here we are again. Celtics-Bucks, Eastern Conference Playoff Series. Seems like we've been here so much over the past few years. Boston, heavy favorites this year. The best team in the NBA. Milwaukee, Doc Rivers as a choker as head coach. Giannis, Lillard. I think everyone's going to be on Boston here. I'm probably going to get slammed. I'm taking the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks in the 7-game series. I'm taking the Milwaukee Bucks to get past Boston in the 7-game series. I think that this is the year that Doc Rivers finally can do it, and he doesn't choke in the playoffs because of the team he has. I've picked Milwaukee from day 1 to get to the NBA Finals, and I'm sticking to it. I'm taking Milwaukee and Giannis to get there as they beat Boston. Then we have the NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets, Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, Jokic. I picked them from day 1. I picked the Milwaukee Bucks. I had Lillard and Giannis going all the way, and I'm going to stick to it. Or am I? No, I'm taking Denver. I think that in 6 games, Jokic, Murray, back-to-back. It's been the year of back-to-back. UConn, Chiefs, Nuggets, your NBA champions.